Hi everyone, my name's Kay Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Today is the day, I think today is the day, April 17th, 2015, Stampin' Up! Will finally be able to turn the butterfly bundles and butterflies framelits on for us because they have been on not necessarily back order, but they've been stuck at a dock for weeks and weeks and weeks while we've very impatiently waited for them. And so this is the card I'm going to make for you today. And you'll notice that there's some Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper on here from our celebration days, because when you order the bundle, and by the way, the bundle includes this stamp set and these framelits, and it's the butterflies bundle, and with a bundle, of course, you save 15%, but when you order the bundle through the end of April of 2015, you can pick this Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper as a gift from Stampin' Up! If you already have that paper, you can get the Best Year Ever Designer Series paper, which is also a throwback to Celebration 2015, or you can get the coordinating buttons and ribbons that coordinate with that paper. So let's get started. This is a really fun card to make. It's actually quite easy. That's just some punches and then of course those beautiful thinlet butterflies. Oh, and I forgot to mention the thinlets between now and April 30th will also be discounted 15%. It's so exciting. So I guess it was maybe worth the wait that we had to wait so long for that product to get to us. But we're going to start with some Blushing Bride cardstock. This is cut at 4 1/4 by 11 inches and scored at 5 1/2. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my bone folder to make a nice crisp fold here so that this card will lie flat while we work with it. The next thing that I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about this background paper. This is the Irresistibly Yours paper. I've cut it at 3 1/2 by 4 inches. Now actually, I cut it at 4 by 4 inches because that's the best way to maximize that Designer Series paper since it comes with in 12 by 12 sheets. I then cut off 1/2 inches by 4 inches, and that's going to go on the inside panel of our card. So as long as we've got this ready, let's go ahead and just insert this on the inside panel. I'm going to use a little bit of our multi-purpose liquid glue, put a very skinny little line on this paper and put it right in here, and then we're going to stamp a birthday greeting from Butterfly Basics using our rose red ink. So we're just going to ink that up and we'll stamp it right here. Beautiful. Now for the outside panel, we are going to go ahead and get this 3 1/2 by 4 inch Irresistibly Yours panel prepped. So what I want to do is stamp this butterfly with the rose red ink, and I'm just going to stamp this right here on the very top right hand corner of that paper panel. And then I want to take a tissue and I want to blur this image and expose the design underneath. I love the way that rose red turns kind of a nice soft pink as you take it off of this image, and then it kind of falls out into the surrounding images and just makes this most beautiful design showing through there. And so then we can go ahead and glue this onto the front of our card panel. And again, when you're using multi-purpose liquid glue, you just need a really skinny little line. It's a very economical way to use adhesive. So we're just going to set this in right here, and then it's just a matter of gluing some circles down. So I think before we do that, and I think I'm going to lift this one edge up because I want to insert a little panel. I have a 1 1/8 inch by 3 inch piece of rose red paper, and then I went ahead and I used my hexagon punch to make a little pennant end, and I'm just going to add a little multi-purpose liquid glue to this, and then I'm going to slip it right under here so that we have this peeking out from the left hand side of this Irresistibly Yours paper. Very nice. Alright, and then we can go ahead and layer on the rest of our pennants. The next pennant that we're going to layer on is our 1x3 inch pennant, and it's created with the Painted Blooms Designer Series paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the hexagon punch, and I can just insert this end, make sure it's about even between the top and the bottom, and do a little punch, and I've got an instant pennant. And so again, I'm just going to take a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're going to set this, I think about right here. And then our next little panel will be a 1/2 inch by 3 inch piece of silver foil. And again, I've used the hexagon punch to make a little pennant at the end. Again, we can use just a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just set this right here. So now we have this lovely pennant action going on to the left side of our card. The next thing is to just take some circles. I have a 2.5 inch circle punch right here with the rose red paper. I'm going to glue this onto the front of our card. Just going to center that in so it has about the same amount of white space on both sides here. And then we'll take the 2 inch silver circle that I cut with my 2 inch circle punch from the silver foil. And again, a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. And we can just go ahead and set this about right here. And then we have to stamp our sentiment. So I have the sentiment, and we're just going to stamp this on a piece of scrap, sending wishes your way. And I'm going to punch that out with our 2 inch circle punch. So we're just going to set this in here, line it up so that it's about even from top to bottom. And then we're going to adhere this with dimensionals. So I put dimensionals on the back. I put 3 dimensionals on the back, and then we can just set this in right about here. That looks good. So this is our card so far. Now we're just waiting for our beautiful framelit butterfly to top it off and make it perfect. So this is my magnetic platform, my cutting plate, and I have a very, very well used dryer sheet here. It probably has gone through my machine about 500 times. And then I have my piece of rose red scrap paper, my butterfly, and then another cutting plate. And I ran it through the Big Shot machine. And when you pull up this paper, you can see that the butterfly, all of these little pieces just fall right out of the butterfly. That's the beauty of using a dryer sheet. So it's just wonderful. Now I do have one ready to go, and I have it with a dimensional on the back. I just took a dimensional and cut it in half, and then I can go ahead and just set this on the front of my card like so. Just get it on here about where I want it. It doesn't matter if it covers up your sentiment just a little bit, just shows through real nice. And then you have to make sure that your wing is kind of within the confines of the card so that when you put it in an envelope it will be easy to mail. Then the last finishing touch is to take some of our pearls. I'm going to use the rope pearls here along the bottom. I'm going to take my scissors. I'm just going to snip up and take 3 pearls. And the easiest way for me to do that is to grab that with my paper piercing tool. So now I have the 3 pearls on the end of my paper piercing tool, and I can just put them right where I want to on my card. And isn't that beautiful? Our card is complete. And so here's the inside panel, the little strip of the Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper to the left, the happy birthday, and of course sending wishes your way on the outside. I love the card. I hope you love it too, and I hope you're inspired to purchase the butterfly bundle. And again, it will have this availability of the Irresistibly Yours Designer Series paper through April 30th. Or until it runs out. We never know when it's going to run out, so I would place your order earlier rather than later. If you need a demonstrator in Stampin' Up, I'd be happy to be your demonstrator. Just visit my blog at www.stampingtoshare.com, and I'll have links there where you can click on and go right to my store to order these bundles. Have a great day. I appreciate you so much. Bye-bye.